See, that's how ignorant they were. That's how far they had deviated from the message. Bani Umayyad used to curse Sayyidina Ali on the mimbars. The Sunni Muslims, right? And they used to curse Sayyidina Ali on the mimbars. It was Umar ibn Abdul Aziz that got that stopped. But one of the things that they did, if you became a Muslim, see, because they looked at it like Judaism. You know, you had to actually join the Bani Israel ritualistically, and so you discourage people to become Muslim. And that's why only 7% of the conquered peoples during the Bani Umayyad period of expansion became Muslim. This is a historical fact. During the Bani Abbas period, the Dawla Mubarakah, the blessed Bani Abbas period, over 70%. Why? Because they actually started treating them like human beings. They actually started treating them with dignity. And who, you know, the Baramika, you know who the Baramika are? The Barmeks, Barmecides, they call them in Oxford. The Baramika were the ministers of Bani Abbas. They're actually the Barmakh. They were the Buddhist shrine keepers of Afghanistan. It was actually a class. They were Buddhist shrine keepers that embraced Islam. And they ended up becoming ministers and actually teaching Bani Abbas a great deal about diplomacy, about how to treat. I actually wrote a paper, How the Buddhists Saved Islam. So that's what Allah says. He'll never leave you without hope. And that's why immediately after saying there's this animosity between us, Allah says, عَسَى اللَّهُ أَنْ يَجْعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ وَبَيْنَ الَّذِينَ عَدَيْتُم مِّنْهُمْ مَوَدَّةً. Perhaps God will place love between those people that you feel hatred towards now. That there's adawa between. Maybe He'll put love between you. That's what Allah said. In other words, don't ever hate people to the degree that you can't actually see them being your brothers one day, being your sisters one day. Don't hate people to that degree. I mean, that's a terrible thing to do to another human being. And hatred is a bad quality anyway. It's a disease of the heart. Bughd. Wallahu qadir. Allah is all powerful. Wallahu ghafurur rahim. لا ينهاكم الله عن الذين لم يقاتلوكم في الدين. Allah does not prohibit you from befriending, from working with, from having relations with those who do not persecute you in your religion. They don't actually persecute you in your religion. وَلَمْ يُخْرِجُوكُم مِّن دِيَارِكُمْ, or chase you from your homes. أَن تَبَرُّوهُمْ وَتُقْسِطُوا إِلَيْهِمْ, that you should show all goodness towards them. Bir means every good thing that you can imagine is encompassed in the word bir. Right? That's what Allah says. Bir. He didn't say, to treat them well. He gave the highest concept in Islam of ethical behavior, which is bir. لَن تَنَالَ الْبِرَّ حَتَّى تُنْفِقُوا مِمَّا تُحِبُّونَ. You will never gain righteousness until you actually give up the things that you want to hold on to. And one of them is your hatred. I mean, isn't that interesting? We love to hold on to that hatred. I mean, if we don't have enemies to hate, we're going to have to start looking at ourselves. And my God, that'll be a disaster. I mean, if the Jews can't hate the Arabs, they're going to have to start reflecting on their behavior for the last 50 years. If the Arabs can't hate the Jews, what would they do without the Jews? Start looking at their own rulers. I mean, in 50 years of Israel, 30,000 people have died in 50 years. 30,000 people died in 2 weeks in Syria, in Hama, in 2 weeks. We don't even know how many people died under Saddam Hussein. And that's why, for me, I'm not taking any sides, because I didn't join a tribe. So I'm sorry if I can't be in your tribe. I apologize. But I'm not a tribal member, and I'm just not a tribal kind of guy. Yeah, I read the whole Quran one time, and I realized something really interesting that I liked, because I never liked groupthink. I actually joined a group early on in Islam, and I got out of it pretty quick because I didn't like groupthink. I didn't like, I never liked that Nuremberg trial thing, the Nuremberg rally. I never liked that thing where everybody looks exactly alike and they all kind of at the exact moment, they all, Takbir, Allahu Akbar, all together now. I never liked that. In fact, never towards any individual. If it's towards God, where we all line up and say Allahu Akbar, I'll go for that. But not that other thing, party line, groupthink. I went through the Quran. I found every single person in the Quran was an individual going up against the group. Every single person. The whole lot of them. They were all saying, you guys are insane. Haven't you thought about what you're doing? Haven't you thought about your behavior? And what did they say? He's attacking the group. You know, he's making us think here. The Quran says they actually started thinking about themselves, and then immediately they said, kill him, throw him in the fire. We don't want to do this. This is a little too uncomfortable to make us actually think about ourselves. It's so much easier to think about other people. I mean, that's so much easier. So that's my understanding of the Quran.